back and you are freaking out because he has used the S word. I need space. Here's what you need to do. Hey everyone, I'm Renee Slansky, a professional dating and relationship coach, and I help women from around the world understand, love, and cultivate the relationship that they desire and deserve. Before I jump into this week's video, I want to let you know about a brand new course that I have now launched, yay, called the Man Magnet. It is a 3-step system in getting a guy to commit. Now let me explain. This is about getting him to commit in such a way that there are no lies, no games, no manipulation, and that you are actually stepping into your full potential and becoming the most desirable and dateable, awesome woman, but at the same time understanding a little bit more about how men work. And it kind of goes in hand with what you're going to learn in this video about what to do when a guy does actually pull back. Right, jumping into this video. What do you do when a guy says that he needs space? And I'm not talking about him wanting to fly to the moon here. I'm talking about that yucky feeling we get as women when essentially a guy pulls back. And he's not just pulling back and like we can see it happening, but he then actually tells us as well. It's almost like that makes worse. Like, okay, buddy, I get it. You don't want to be around me right now. So here are my 5 tips for what you need to do when he does pull back and wants space. Tip number 1, don't take it personally. Normally we go straight into I'm not good enough mode, or we feel completely rejected because he isn't giving us the attention and making us feel as valued as what he did in the beginning. Him pulling back is not necessarily an indication of you or what your relationship is going to turn into. It might purely be because he is stressed about work, because he has some internal things to actually process, and he just wants to be able to do that without having any sort of outside influences or help. Let's not forget, men like to be their own hero, and they don't process emotions the same way that we do. Sometimes guys just need to take a little step back in order to really work it out and get some perspective on what it is that they actually want to address. It might not even have anything to do with you. Maybe he has some baggage that he's dealing with. Maybe there's been a problem at work. Maybe he's under financial pressure. Don't necessarily assume that him pulling back means that he doesn't actually want to build something with you. The second thing is this. Give him space. No chasing. If you want to get a guy to really chase you and to pursue you and be committed to you, then he needs to be the fox and you need to be the rabbit. There's no point trying to chase him and convince him and force him to come back or to be next when he has made it really clear that he actually just needs some space. And girls, if there is one thing that I could tell you in order to be able to really get a guy to commit and to pursue you again after he has stepped back, is this. Do not go to him. Allow him to come to you. Chasing a man isn't going to change his mind. In fact, it's probably going to have the opposite effect that you actually want. He will come to you when he is ready. So there's no point chasing him because it is going to delay the process. It is going to make him assume that you don't respect the space that he actually has asked of you. And it also means that he's going to start to see you in a different light of a woman who is needy, a woman who doesn't have her own purpose, a woman who isn't able to be a teammate in a relationship. Number 3, get busy doing your thing. Your life shouldn't be focused around what he's doing all the time. He shouldn't be your purpose or your sole priority. This is why it's important that when you do get into a relationship, that you still continue to have a life outside of him. What are you doing with your goals? What are you doing with your friendship circles? What are you doing with your purpose? Have you worked out what it is that you want to do in your life that is going to keep you fulfilled and happy regardless of whether or not you have a man? If a guy pulls back, then this is the perfect time to focus more on you, to give back to you, and to just pull back into yourself a little bit more. Let's face it, sometimes when a guy does pull back, it can be an indication that he is starting to get cold feet or he feels that he isn't ready to go to that next level. That's why we need to stay at our level, not necessarily chasing. Giving back to us and do what makes us happy and do what makes us fulfilled so that whilst he has halted the progress, we are still progressing individually in our own lives. 4th thing is this, let him come to you. Again, girls, if I can tell you one piece of information which will change your life, it is this. Don't go chasing him. Let him chase you. And this is what my Man Magnet program is all about. Men don't just want to chase, they need to chase. The moment that you take away his role in the relationship, which is to be the hunter, not the gatherer, is the moment you take away a major component of what it is that he needs to feel fulfilled. By you chasing him, you are essentially not only disrespecting his need for space and also showing that you yourself have lowered your own standards and boundaries, but you're also rewarding his negative behavior. Essentially, you're saying that, okay, this is okay. I'm going to just do everything what you want because I don't want to lose you. Which brings me to my last point. Keep a standard. Point number 5. I don't know if you've heard about the dating scale, but basically this is the dating scale and this is the halfway point. Now, if a guy comes along and he stops just before the halfway point, what we tend to do is we tend to be excited and attracted to him and we move towards him. Now, he then pulls back and we chase. He pulls back and we chase. And before you know it, like on any scale, when something is outweighed, it tips. All right, and you need to be able to get back to the halfway point. You don't want to find yourself at this end of the dating scale where you're constantly chasing men and you have this fear of missing out or this fear of never being loved or this lack of self-love or whatever it is that is getting you to this point. This is about sticking to the standard that you know represents self-love, that you know represents a healthy relationship, and that you know is ultimately going to get you the progress and the balance in a relationship. If you have a standard, then this will give you a clear indication whether or not this guy actually is meant to be in your life. Let's face it, there's two types of men. Men that pull back and actually work out what it is that they want and go through their issues and internally process everything and then meet us at the halfway point and we move forward. Or we have men who stay there and who continue to get further and further away from us and we realize that they're not the right guy for us. If a man is pulling back, it is an indication that it is time to give more to yourself and invest in you. And the great thing is because he's pulled back, well, we actually will have more time to do that. So use that time wisely to get some perspective on the whole situation and this guy, to give yourself a big dose of self-love and to work on other areas of your life that you also want to be fulfilling as well. Well, that's it, girls. My question to you is this. What do you normally do when a guy pulls back? And how has that affected everything? I love hearing from you, so send me an email to hello@reneeslansky.com. Don't forget, I do have a link to my Man Magnet course, which is in the bio below, and I completely recommend it for any woman that is really struggling to understand men and what it is that they need and want in a relationship to feel fulfilled, to be able to give us the commitment that we want. I'm Renee Slansky. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Until next time, happy dating. Bye for now.